Good evening, you all. I'm back again. Today is Thursday, and I am excited to talk about something very, very dear to my heart. Uh, you're with author Shirley A. Jones in the relationship room, and I'm the author of It's a Man's Work That's Never Done, Not a Woman's. So today won't be very long, but it'll be strong, okay? So I did a lot of thinking and a lot of researching even into my own self past, because for except you can talk about relationships or how to fix things, you want to know a little bit about it, even if it's personal. So I'm going to get a little personal today. So my topic today is nurturing a bruised relationship, marriage, friendship, or self-ship. Okay? Nurturing a bruised relationship, marriage, friendship, or self-ship. Now, let's get started. I'm excited. Relationship. First, you have to be willing to want to resolve what caused the bruising, because without the desire to want to do so is really a waste of both of your time. If you choose to move forward, don't start your conversation with an apology. It could be taken as a brush off. Listen to each other's side and how they feel without interrupting. If you do, it seems as if you're trying to take over the conversation, and you don't want that. No matter how unfair, how insensitive, or how senseless the action that caused the bruising was, or the words, you must listen in order to know who and what the person is trying to say, and listen to them. They're trying to resolve an issue, and in order for you to get your turn to speak, do the respectful thing. Listen, and when your turn comes, you can speak. Okay, now, let me think about this. Well, think about this. When you're in a conversation with the one you're trying to resolve the issue with, you always want to talk. You want to get your point over. Or like myself, sometimes you may want to speak and interrupt them because you're afraid that you may forget something you want to say. Well, do what I do. In the beginning, let the person know. If you see me writing down, I'm going to just jot down a word, one word, so that I can remember what I want to say. And that way you won't be rude or disrespectful to them. Because it is rude when they're talking and you're writing. So just write down one word, and hopefully that'll jog your memory to what you thought you may forget, okay? And if you feel at the end that an apology is due, then by all means, apologize for your actions, your word, your gestures. You know what it was, and hopefully that'll fix it, okay? So now, I also want to say about the relationship. Waiting your turn or not ringing in when you want to doesn't mean that you're accepting what they're saying. You're just respecting their time, okay? Let's move on to marriage. Though you said at the beginning, for better or for worse, rich or poor, sickness and health, and all the other things, and you may have thrown a few little personal issue things in there that you wanted, life will throw you a curve. It depends on how you recover, whether or not you will recover. By no means is marriage to be taken lightly, because it's more of a permanent choice and a want. It is to be respected as any other relationship, and just dwell a little bit deeper in depth when it comes to trying to resolve something, because the issues is a little bit more heavier, and marriage is a unity that should be locked, sealed, and agreed upon, okay? So, first things first, listen as well to one another without interrupting, no matter what you want to say or how bad you want to say it. Wait your turn to speak. And if you think, you're going to forget something, write it down. That's what you do. So secondly, when you speak, don't speak as if you're speaking to a child. That's condescending. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're talking to a grown adult. So treat them how you want to be treated, okay? Now, you must remember you're equal in a marriage. 1 + 1 in a marriage equals 1, y'all. No one person is over the other one, okay? You're not over him. He's not over you. You're equal. You're trying to get something resolved. And some of you may go to the Bible and say it reads that the man is the head of the wife. Well, yes, it does say that. But you got to read it all. When he says that the man is the head, that means he's the head of the wife in the household. He's not in charge or ownership of her. That means if you're not married and you don't have a guy in your life that's a man of God, then shame on you. God should be your covering, which is your head, until that man that you love and say I do to comes into your life, and then he's your covering. That's a protection. That's not ownership, you all. That's just protection. So get that right. Read it right. You know how sometimes we'll make it fit what we want it to fit. Okay. I will say this to you, fellas. Every head needs a neck. And the neck is what connects the head to the body. And that would be your her, okay? Remember, every head needs a neck. And the neck connects the head to the body. All right? I like that. Okay, so moving right along. Just remember, if the person you're trying to resolve an issue with is there with you, then that means you both still care about each other. You both want to resolve it. If they're there, they care. It's the silence that's deadly, even ending. So talk. Okay, we're moving on to friendship. If your friendship has hit a block wall or brick wall, remember bricks can be removed and other friendships can be rebuilt. If by chance the brick was chipped, then you can take a little cement and kind of smooth that chip over, and that'll fix that. And then once you fix it, have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Talk about why and if. The why is why it happened. The if is if it'll happen again, okay? So follow that up with a conversation. Now, if the friendship is, if it's really, really serious, then you have paid attention to that person that's in your life. So now if the bricks were bulldozed down, pretty much that was on purpose. And you need to make a choice about rebuilding a new wall or using old bricks to build up the past. You choose, but choose wisely, okay? Now we're going to move on over to self-ship. This is my personal issue. If you don't like yourself, then how can you like or love others? That's what society says. And I think maybe a few psychiatrists may have said it as well, but I beg to differ. Sometimes we love others like we want to be loved. And this is really going to get you. And I'm not going to read it because I already know it. It's a personal issue to me. Just because you don't love yourself does not mean you can't love others. My grandmother loved me and I loved her. But some things happened when she passed away as I was being reared that kind of stripped that. So I didn't love myself. I didn't think I was a good enough person. I didn't think that I was pretty, because of the things that were said to me when I was being reared. But it did not mean that I didn't know love. I just didn't love myself because that's what was put in my head. So you all may say, well, how can you love other people if you can't love yourself? Well, I did not say that I didn't know love or the person don't know love, because if you don't know love, you can't give what you don't know. But you can be loved and not love yourself. You've heard it, you've said it probably yourself. She will give you her very last dime, or she or he will give you the clothes off of their back, or he or she will help you in any situation, no matter what. But they don't really love themselves. They don't really do things for themselves, but they love doing things for others. So that's a healing that needs to happen on the inside, y'all. That person may know love because you have a mother that doesn't love herself, but she loves her kids. She doesn't love herself, but she loves her husband. Have you heard him say, well, she loves us. We just wish she would love herself. Or we wish that he would believe that he deserves to be loved. Well, they know love. They just don't love themselves for whatever that personal reason is. And if you're a friend and you realize that they have low self-esteem or no esteem, then you be a good friend and help them. Or if you don't know how, find somebody that will. So I would say to you, my peeps out there, don't say, how can you love me if you don't love yourself? Because it can happen. But if a person don't know love, then they can't give love. That's my personal talk to you today. So leave me some questions or comments out there if you want to. Push like for this video and subscribe. Okay, leave me some notes. I know you're gonna have some questions, so I'll be ready. I'll be ready. And so I'm signing out today. Author Shirley A. Jones, author of It's a Man's Work That's Never Done, Not a Woman's. All right, stay safe, obey the rules and regulations, and do what's best for you in your house. Signing off. Bye.